What up guys, Lock Jimmy here. Last time we took apart the Quickset Titan, and today as promised I'm going to teach you how to reassemble a lock. At least we're going to reassemble the Titan. Some locks, like a Schlage, they have the I dropped him. They have the cap that is kind of crimped on. Quickset and the knockoffs, they have a cap that, yes, they pry off and you can rebuild them from the top. But let's say that we can't do that. I mean, that's the easy way. Just pop the top, dump it out, build your new one, rekey it, put it back together, done. Slap it back in the door. Some of them you can't do that. So let's put him back together, assuming we can't take the cap off. Alright, starting, I don't have the key for this, and it really doesn't matter. So what we're going to do, last time when we picked this, we found it only had 5 pins. Well, let's say we want to pin it back to 6. Whoever pinned this up last time had doubled up on the drivers, and they had given us an extra pin. So let's use him. Alright, just randomly lost him. Just randomly going to put the pins back in. Found him. So just dropping them back in as I find them. No particular order. And the beauty of this is, if you're using these for challenge locks for yourself, just randomly drop them in, and you have a new lock that you don't know how to pick. Because when you are practicing picking, see, we've got all 6 loaded. When you're practicing picking, you play with a lock over and over and over and over, and eventually you figure out that lock and you can get into it like a pro. But if, you know, that gets old, you have no more challenge. So you either get rid of the lock, or if it's repinnable, you dump them out and just put them back in another order, and you've got a new lock to play with. Alright, we've pinned up the core. Now, let's work with upstairs. What I like to do is I put the plug follower in, and I'll pull it until you can, I don't know if you could see that. I'll grab my light. I like to pull back to, if it's a 5 pin, I'll pull back 2. This is a 6, so we'll do 3. You see those 3 holes there? We'll do those 3 and flip it over and do those 3. It's a little bit easier than having to reach all the way in there, you know, because you don't have as much control when you're as deep in as you can go. So let's do that. You pull back to the, sorry guys, you pull back, exposing number 3, and you just grab a spring and it's hard for me to see, we're not well lit here today. I'll light him up. You drop him in the hole. Now, because you have your plug follower there on the back side, you take your pin, your driver. I like to bump him all the way where I'm kind of holding more hanging down, and I'll put him right at the hole, if he's gonna let me. I like to put him right at the hole and push down, and then push forward with the plug spinner. Listen to me, the plug follower. Now you see I have him jammed in right there. If I let go, he's going to pop up. But since I've got him pushed in, you just take your tweezers and push down, and as you see, he's covered up and we have 2 holes left. You just repeat this process. To keep the video time down, I'm just going to do this a few times. If I can keep a hold of the springs. They're just going everywhere today. Alright, you just do the same thing. Drop the spring in the hole, grab a driver, make sure that you have a good grip on him when you got a bunch hanging down. Find the hole and push down and push forward with your plug follower. And your plug follower holds tension, and you've got 1 hole left. Now I'm going to pause this and finish up on this side and get to almost the last of the next side. Alright, I've almost got the first, or technically the second 3 done. We're on the front side now. So just taking the top pin, driver pin, and you gently push forward. See how he's not popping out, and if I let go, he pops out. Put him in the hole, push forward with your plug follower, then just gently push down, and he's covered up. And the final spring, he flew off. Good word of advice: always have extra springs hanging around, because these bad boys can take flight in an instant. Alright, now we've got the bobble rebuilt. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that off camera. We've got the bobble rebuilt. Push him down. Alright, so now we are back at the point where we have the bobbles full and the core is full. So let's put them back together. And we'll put the outer part of the body back on. Alright. Alright, you see you have your bobble right here with the cap. We took it apart at a 90. See, this right here is where it's going to lock, because the driver pins are going to go straight down on the key pins. So just to make sure, put it back together the way you took it apart. And that went back in, and that's locking. Click, we're locked. Okay, E-clip back on, that hurt, and you see that fits right over. Now we have this left. It goes in this little slot right there. They can be a pain in the butt. Do you need them? Well, you know, it came with it. You might as well put it back together the way it came. But does it need it? No, the lock will still function properly. As a matter of fact, you will never know that it was not put back. Now you see this little track right here. This track allows this little spring to slide right back into place. And it's not going to go in the hole. I don't think you're going to be able to see in there. You might. What I like to do is I take my tweezers and I grab and pull down. With my thumb I'll push until, if you can see in there, it's locked back into place, because there's that little hole that you saw it go into. You can always make sure by pushing with your tweezers on the back side. Click. Your lock is back together and ready to be picked or installed. Well guys, I appreciate your time. please subscribe to my channel. This is how you put a lock back together once you have it completely gutted. I appreciate your time, and every chance you get, rock out with your lockout. Lock Jimmy. Peace, guys.